Let's say you live a normal life. What would you feel if you're forced to be taken everything and when there's not much a thing you could do about it? This video is the story about people whose rights and even lives were taken. As you enter this museum, the first thing you see is wagon. This wagon actually took people to concentration camps during the World War II. Then suddenly, you see the steel frames are surrounding you. These steel frames were built in order to make visitors feel watched by guards in concentration camps. As you walk in, you can see how the time has passed till the present in the perspective of Jews. And what we focus on this video happened in early 20s.
The Holocaust Memorial Center, Zeckerman Family Campus, was founded 30 years ago this year by the Holocaust survivors in Metro Detroit to commemorate the Holocaust, memorialize the loss of their families and of half the Jewish people in Europe, and to provide an opportunity to educate their fellow Jews and certainly the non-Jews of the community, especially school children, as to what the Holocaust meant and what its lessons are.
In the next section, traditional items of Jews are displayed. One example is Torah. Torah is holy words, which are the 5 Old Testaments from the Bible. Also, it is possible to see how people lived back then. Because Jews did not have their own country, they gathered and made their town. Synagogue, which is the hall for their ceremony, became the center of the town. Children studied, and young adults married. There, they lived a normal life. With their friends and families. This is example data of how many people live in certain town in Poland. As you can see, there were a lot of Jewish people in other Europe countries, not only in Germany. Then what did bring disaster to Jews? In order to understand that, the certain past should be understood. At the day of June 28, 1914, the Prince of Austria was assassinated at Sarajevo. This triggered the World War I. Germany, the ally of Austria, also was involved in this war. However, as the United States entered in this war, the World War I ended at 1918 November 11th, and Germany, Austria, and Italy lost. After the war, the economy of Germany collapsed, and people wanted to escape from the situation. Then, the Great Depression struck the world at 1929, and the Germans' economy became even worse. The jobless people were 1,400,000 at 1928, and the number soared up as 5,600,000 at 1932. As the leader of country, Hitler wanted to purify the race and wanted to make the country with pure Aryans. And this idea triggered a tragedy.
The Nazis were the National Socialists, NSDAP, of Germany, and it was one of the main parties that ran for the elections in 1932.
So as you walk down to museum, you can see the pictures of Nazi top leaders. By their hands, specific laws and systems were made to purify the race, and at 1935 was finally introduced as the name of Nuremberg laws. Jewish people were not the only one target, but there were also other minorities.
On the 9th of November 1938, thousands of Jewish stores and homes are smashed throughout Germany in an organized wave of violence. Hundreds of synagogues are burned.
On November 7th, 1938, there happened Kristallnacht. It was the official mass murder, and more than 91 Jewish people were murdered, and around 30,000 people were sent to concentration camps. On September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, and then World War II began. Even during the World War II, Hitler wanted the extinction of Jews, and the order was named as Final Solution.
The final solution was Hitler's and the Nazi Party's idea to rid the world of the Jews. He expected and intended that the Third Reich, his country, take over certainly Europe and the rest of the world to purify the race. And he felt that the Jews and other minorities were defiling the perfect Aryan race.
More and more people were captured and sent to the concentration camps. In this section, you can see certain items used in the concentration camps. Many people were abused, mistreated, and forced to be dead. In Auschwitz, more than 1 million Jews were murdered, and this is almost 1/6 population of murdered Jews during the World War II. It seemed as if the nightmare would last forever. However, the World War II finally ended at August 15, 1945, by the surrender of Japan. People came out of streets and shouted with happiness. After World War II, Nuremberg trials were held between November 20th, 1945 and October 1st, 1946, and top Nazi leaders were judged in these trials. Many people died, and many children became orphans. In some countries, people and some organizations voluntarily adopted those who were orphans. Also, there were not only bad people, but there were also innocent people who tried to rescue Jews from the chaos.
As director of this center, I'm pleased and proud to be continuing this work. I've been director of Holocaust museums for 25 years. I've built 2 Holocaust museums, and I came to work here to see this institution, the Holocaust Memorial Center, Zeckelman Family Campus in metropolitan Detroit, reach new heights and to reach a new audience and to continue to grow, especially as we approach an era where there are no witnesses, neither survivors nor veterans of World War II.
In the last section, the numbers of murdered Jews are written on the walls. As you can see, more people were murdered in Poland rather than any other country. The total number of murdered Jews during the World War II was more than 6 million. Sadly, Anne Frank could not last her life longer, but like her wish in her diary, which is, I wish to go on living even after my death. She's remembered by many people now, and I hope people neither forget the pain of wars, nor repeat these horrible tragedies again.